Welcome back, everybody. David Viscott here for our second hour. Well, we're making progress, are we?
Well, we're doing, everything's going great now. We still don't have our phones back, but the sound people are making it work. For a while there, I thought that I have to tell you my own problems for 2 hours, and I'm not that interesting. I was a little worried.
Okay, but you can be more interesting than anyone I know tonight. But the fact is, are we making... Does it look good on the air?
I think it looks fine. I don't think that if someone tuned in right now, they would know that the phones were not working. I think, we have these great sound people here. We have Vicki, and Vicki was the very first caller that we were going to talk to, and we lost her in those sound problems. She's having...
back.
Pardon?
She's back.
She's back.
Vicki?
Yes?
I'm sorry about our problems and throwing you off into the night like an old shoe.
No problem. It's just a pleasure to get to talk to you.
How old are you, Vicki?
I'm 41.
What's going on?
Well, I've had a girlfriend for about 10 years. We've had a very long relationship and been very close. We met in an incest survivors group about 10 years ago, and it was a rather large group. But for some reason, we had a lot in common, and obviously we had a lot in common. And we've stayed in contact, and I've always sort of been, she's my extended family, since obviously I don't have a whole lot to do with my own. I always go to her home for Thanksgiving dinner and Christmas and share the holidays with her grown children and her and birthdays and things. And we always talk a lot. And then all of a sudden something happened.
What?
We both have children that are like 10 and 12, and one weekend they were going to be doing their various activities. And I said to her, because she's long distance and we build up these big phone bills, I said, well, why don't you come down and spend the whole day? We'll have the whole day to talk. We can watch some movies, and we can spend some time together, for ourselves. And she said, fine, we'll meet for brunch, and I'll be over. Well, we met for brunch. We came back to my house, and I put on the movie Harold and Maude, which is an all-time favorite of mine that she has never seen. And sometime during the show, she said, I would like to be your Maude. And at first I wasn't too upset about that. And
What did you think she meant?
Well, I wasn't sure, because it was around the part of the movie where they finally slept together, Harold and Maude.
Uh-huh.
And I thought, well, maybe I misinterpreted it. And I said, but you are my Maude. You're a very special person in my life, and I care about you very much. And, we've sort of grown together and found ourselves together and stuff. And you are a Maude in my life. And there were a few incidences before that where she asked me if I had any hand lotion. And I said, yes, it's in the bathroom. She gets up and she goes into my bathroom.
Was this on this visit?
Yes, this was on this visit. And while the movie was playing, she came back with the hand lotion. She picks up my foot off the floor and she starts to give me a foot massage. And went from the foot up the leg. And I was sort of uncomfortable. I said, no, don't your leg. My legs need shaved, that kind of stuff. And I was sort of embarrassed and kind of uncomfortable with it, but...
Okay, so she came on to you.
Yeah.
Okay. And?
And then it went from, well, why are you sitting at that end of the couch and I'm clear over here? Isn't
So she came on to you. Let's go to the next place.
Well, I felt so betrayed, David. It was...
What did you say when you realized what was going on?
I went into my automatic mode of talking my way out of a situation by switching the subject. And
did you feel at all like you felt when you were being incested?
Oh, absolutely.
And the reason you felt betrayed was not so much that she was making a sexual approach, but she was using the same tactics that you had spoken of yourself during the group.
Yes.
So she knew your weakness, and she was betraying you at the very place of your vulnerability where you'd been abused before.
Yes.
So you were put in a situation where you felt trapped for a person who you loved and brought in as family, Thanksgiving and all that stuff just having been said, and all of a sudden you're once again in the same position.
Yes.
That's what hurts. What
And I love her very much.
Of course.
You know, and I keep rationalizing.
What did you say to her?
Well, I said to her, after doing my song and dance of, you know, talking my way out of this situation as you would any situation where you felt cornered.
Well, I don't know whether I would do that.
Well, I said to her...
I often, in situations, say, hey, what's going on here?
Right, but at
Didn't
the
you say
time, the
anything?
fear overrides your...
Fear of what? Fear is the expectation of loss. The losses that I see are the loss of family as she symbolized it.
Yes.
Of being alone, rejected, of being alone again, rejected again. Recurrences of the old feeling that hasn't completely been resolved.
But there was another issue of being a friend and understanding.
I understand.
That she was an incest victim, and maybe she didn't know how to communicate or show affection towards me.
So she
sexualized
sexualized it.
Yes.
All right. Can you use that understanding as the leverage point to begin the discussion? Did you say anything to her at all?
Yes.
What?
And then the denial came in.
What did you say?
I said that I felt like I had some kind of sign on my forehead that said, you know, strike here. That's where I went back to.
Okay. This is entirely too personal in your response, okay?
Yeah.
You have just been approached by a person who was abused, who was seeking to sexualize their feelings of love for you that they couldn't handle.
Right.
Abused women often seek out other women later on in life because their inability to trust men. And what I would do is I would write her a note. I would just say, hey, look, I spoke to someone about this, and I understand what's going on. But the problem is that you, in feeling close to me, sexualize your relationship with me the way your family relationship had been sexualized with you. I understand fully the dynamics, but I must tell you that when you denied what you were doing, I felt exactly the way I felt as a child when I confronted and other people denied. And surely with someone I love and share the same vulnerability with as a deep friend such as you, I shouldn't be confronting the same denial. I forgive you for making the approach, but I need you to admit the denial and admit what's going on so at least we can have a friendship. I certainly can understand you, having been incested and abused, would want to express love for me, and out of your fear of rejection might sexualize it in order to have more control over it, since the only way you knew about such love when you were a child was in a situation where the love was done in a very controlling, manipulative fashion.
Yeah.
Okay? That's what I would say to her.
Okay.
Okay?
Thank you, David.
Does that make sense?
It makes sense.
Make it her problem. You're prepared to love her again, you say.
I
But
do
not
love
with
her,
but
but
not
as my friend.
but not with the denial in place.
Right. No, that just made me angry. I became very
Of course,
angry
because you know
that
you don't
once
have.
again I was feeling crazy.
What are you going to go to? Her mother?
Yeah, I know.
And that's what I would even say. Who am I supposed to? I'm 41 years old. I don't have a father or a mother I can appeal to. You are the court of higher appeal because you are the friend I entrusted, and you're betraying that. Come on, admit what was going on and see if perhaps we can reach our friendship truth again and still be friends.
I've just been afraid to call her.
Don't be afraid. Do it in a letter.
Okay.
Okay?
All right.
Okay, kiddo. Let me know how this works out. This is really important.
Thank you, David.
Okay. But the victim often becomes the victimizer when the problem is not completely worked through.
I realize that, but I've never met an incest victim that I believed was capable of abuse. And
guess what? They're all capable of abuse. That's the heart of being the victim. The victim inhibits the expression of the anger, which turns into an inward rage, which at a certain point causes a person to go out of control and to become the very demon they seek most to destroy. Okay.